Hello, and welcome to Mrs. Seeley's review of the Unit 1 review assignment. So jumping in and starting with question number 1. It says to write an expression with n for the input for the following data. So it would probably be helpful if you had some paper to record your data. Okay, the inputs are 1, 2, 3, and 4. The outputs are 6, 10, 14, and 18. Okay, so if you had your Hilroy or some paper there, you can make your own t-chart from this data. Okay, to find out the expression, we first have to find out what's in the boxes. What do we have to do to input to get output? First thing you got to look at is notice that the inputs are going up by 1 each time, and the outputs are going up by 4 each time. So that means that the first thing we had to do was multiply the input by 4. Okay, so I'm going to type the answers into the box. Multiply the input by 4 is represented by 4n. N is input, 4 means multiply the input by 4. After I multiply this one by 4, I should get 4, not 6. So I know that after I multiply by 4, I then have to add 2 afterwards. Okay? So I've typed into the box the expression. When you multiply the input by 4 and then add 2, the expression is written as 4n plus 2. Okay, next question, 1b. This time the inputs are different numbers. They're not 1, 2, 3, 4. They are 5, 10, 15, and 20. The outputs are 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I had said that sometimes when you see the input going up by a different number other than 1, then maybe it's because you have to divide by that number. So these numbers are going up by 5 each time, and it is true that you have to take the input and divide it by 5. Okay, so I'm going to type that into the answer box. To write input divided by 5, you put the n first, then you put the slash sign, then you put 5. That's a way of writing fraction form, n over top of 5. In this case, you must write the n first and the 5 second in fraction form. That means the input gets divided by the 5, not 5 gets divided by the input. Okay, after I divide 5 by 5, I get 1, not 3. So I know that I have to then add 2 after I divide by 5. So I am typing into the answer box, add 2. Correct answer for 1b is n over 5, or n division sign 5, and then plus 2. Okay, question 2a. On what axis of the graph does the input belong? Correct answer is the x-axis, or you could also say the horizontal. It is the one going from side to side. 2b. On what axis of a graph does the output belong? That is the y-axis, or the vertical axis, the one going up and down. Okay, question 3a. What is the output when the input is 1? So you need to know that the numbers along the bottom are the inputs. So when the input is 1, you follow it up to this point, you go across and find that the output is 2. So 3a is the answer 2. 3b says, using the graph from question 3a, what is the input when the output is 3? So the output is on this side. You look for output of 3, you follow it across to this point, you line it up with the input. The answer is also 2. 3b, the answer is 2. Okay, question 4a. I will sketch it on my whiteboard. It says that a has the coordinates of 2 and 4. So 2 is how far right we went, and 4 is how far up we went. And so I've sketched it about right there, 2 and 4. Then it says B has the coordinates of 1 and 6. So I'm going to sketch point B. I should label that. 5 and 6. 1 and 6. Point B is over here. So to describe how to get from point A to point B, first we would describe the left-right action. to get from an x value of 2 to an x value of 1, I have to go 1 to the left. Okay, so I am going to type in for 4a, move 1 left. Okay, after I've moved 1 left, I'm right here. I still need to get from an x value of 4 to an x value of 6, so that means I need to go 2 up. So the second part of the description is 2 up. Moving on, question 4b. If you start at point B, which is this one right here, and you move 6 units east, you have to figure out whether east is left or right. If we went to the left, we'd go into the negative. So it is 6 units to the right, this way. We went from an x value of 1 to an x value 6 units to the right. That would be an x value of 7. I'm taking my coordinates of point B, which were 1 and 6, and I'm moving them 6 to the east, which means 6 to the right. And then it says 3 units south. You have to figure out whether south is up or down. It is down. So I am going from this point and I am going 3 down from there. It was at a y value of 6. 3 down from a y value of 6 would be a y value of 3. The new coordinates of this point C are 7 and 3. Okay, moving on. Question 5. Bob wants to order donuts for delivery. Each donut costs $2 and delivery costs $3. List the inputs and outputs for having 5, 6, 7, and 8 donuts delivered. Okay, so the donuts. Every donut is $2, so I need to times by 2. Then delivery costs $3. That's a flat fee. It's only one time. So at the end, when I find the cost, I have to add on 3. To find the outputs here, I go 5 donuts times $2 per donut is 10. Then add the delivery fee of 13, of 3 to get 13. Okay, now I am not going up by 13 each time. I've already included this $3 one-time fee in this amount of 13. So now I just need to increase by the cost of a donut, which is $2. This will be 15, this will be 17, this will be 19. I think your question looks different in your form. I think you just have to write the outputs. So you would write 13, 15, 17, and 19 for your answer. For the pattern in 5a, write an expression. I found out that what I had to do was multiply by 2 and then add 3 to write the expression for that, 2n. That means multiply the input by 2. After the 2n, I write plus 3. That means at the end, add on the $3 delivery fee. Correct answer for 5b is 2n plus 3. 6a, it says, for the pattern in 5a, how many donuts will be delivered if the cost is $27? That's when I can take this relation and I can work backwards from it. So I take the $27 and I take away the $3 delivery fee, and that's going to give me the donuts cost $24. If the donuts cost $24 and they're each $2, I divide by 2, slash sign, not question mark, slash sign 2, and I find out that there was 12 donuts delivered. Okay, for 6b, the pattern in question, for the pattern in 5a, what's the cost of having 100 donuts delivered? So I say the input is 100 here. That's what I replace the n with. So I go 2 times 100 is 200. And I add on the $3 delivery fee, and I get the cost of $203. Dollar sign would be good there. $203. Okay, questions 7a and 7b. You just had to solve for what this was equal to. So 16 plus 4 times 2. First, you have to do the multiplication. Okay, order of operations says multiplication first. So you're going to multiply 4 times 2 is 8. Then you're going to add 16 and 8, and you're going to get the answer 24. So that's what your expression has to equal to. So I just want you to write any 2 numbers and 1 operation sign is the minimum that could equal that. Here's a good one, 23 plus 1. It can be anything that equals 24, your expression. Your expression doesn't have to have a letter in it. It just has to have at least 2 numbers and 1 operation. For this question, it is the same numbers, but this time you have brackets in the question. So that means do 16 times 4 first, which makes 20. Then 20 times 2 makes 40. So you have to write anything that's going to equal to 40. Let's do division. How about 120 divided by 3? That is an expression. It has numbers and an operation, and it is going to equal the same thing as the left side, which is the value of 40. Okay, question 8a. We are solving for n. Right now, n's being multiplied by 2. I need to undo what's being multiplied, what's being done to n. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2. And I will get that n is equal, n is equal to 25. Okay, here it says 60 divided by n is equal to 4. So this one you can't really undo the divided by, so you could reverse the 2 numbers here and go 60 divided by 4 to get the value of n. N is equal to 15. Question number 9. It says 50 dogs are placed evenly into 10 pens. Each pen has 3 water dishes. Write an expression to find the sum of dogs in each pen and the total number of water dishes. So my expression is supposed to be a sum of something. First, I'm supposed to find the sum of the dogs in each pen. It says that 50 dogs are placed evenly into 10 pens. So to find the number of dogs in each pen, I need to go 50 divided by 10. I don't have to put the answer to that. Then, sum means I'm adding together the second part, which is the total number of water dishes. If there are 10 pens and each has 3 water dishes, then the total number of water dishes is going to be 10 times 3. Okay, the answer to this question is 53. But it didn't say you had to answer it. It said you had to write the expression for it. So I would be looking for something like that as your answer. Okay, same thing for 9b. Bob buys 3 pairs of socks, $5 each. 2 pairs of shoes, $40 each. Write an expression to show the total amount. So the total is going to be equal to, first the cost for the socks, which is 3 times 5. Then we have to add on the cost for the shoes, which is 2 times 40. The answer to this would be 15 plus 80, which is $95. But it did not ask for the answer, it asked for the expression. So this is what I'm going to be looking for your answer. Okay, question 10a, commutative property. It means when you flip 2 numbers around, you get the same answer. So an example could be a plus b is the same thing as b, not capital B, b plus a. Okay, it also works for multiplication. If you go a times b, you're going to get the same answer as if you go b times a. Operations that have commutative property are add and multiply. And the operations that don't have commutative property are subtract and divide. Okay, I hope that helped you understand the Unit 1 review. Thanks for listening. Good luck on the final review.